Well, a guilty plea from Ariel Robinson today here in a Greenville County courtroom. That's the husband of Ariel Robinson, who's accused of brutally abusing her 3-year-old foster daughter, Victoria Smith, to death last year in their Simpsonville home. It was in January of 2021 when the couple was arrested, just a couple days after emergency crews responded to their home for a report of an unresponsive child. An autopsy report showed the manner of death for Smith as homicide. Ariel Robinson pleaded guilty to his involvement with the alleged crimes today. He said to the courtroom on that day he was outside doing yard work when he heard Smith crying and screaming from inside the house. He said when he went inside, he saw Smith covered in bruises and his wife holding a belt. He claims that he told his wife she had gone too far this time.
Ariel Robinson was born in Greenville, South Carolina in 1992. She was raised by a devout Christian family, so most of her childhood revolved around the church. As an adult, she started her own family. She married a man named Jerry Austin Robinson, and the couple had 2 kids whom she also raised in the church. Ariel said she has always loved kids and education, so becoming a teacher was her dream job. She landed a position at Sanders Middle School in Lawrence County, South Carolina, teaching English. She also coached their girls' basketball team to multiple championships. By all reports, she loved her job and her students loved her.
Hey guys, welcome to my 2018-2019 school year classroom tour. So this is my door wreath that I've made. My theme this year is laugh and learn, so I have an emoji theme going on. If you look beside my door, I got another big emoji, of course. I have my All About Me that if you follow me, you saw that on my post already. Welcome to Mrs. Robinson's ELA class. Students, are you reading? Do you love books? Hashtag in my books challenge. All right, let's go in.
But Ariel's teaching career was short-lived. She left the school after the 2018-2019 school year. Later in 2019, she auditioned for and was accepted onto the 20th season of the Food Network TV show, Worst Cooks in America. The show aired beginning in February of 2020. Ariel cooked her way to the top, winning the competition and the $25,000 prize.
And the winner of Worst Cooks in America is Ariel!
Oh my God! Last year, Ariel appeared in the 20th season of Worst Cooks in America and took home the top prize of $25,000, saying she was going to use it to help her family of 7.
I wanted to win this money so much for them, to give them a better life.
The win made her a local celebrity in her town of Simpsonville.
She's named one of the worst cooks in America, and she's from Simpsonville. Ariel Robinson has become a household name.
And she appeared on many local shows to talk about her win.
After winning, Ariel used her newfound celebrity to launch a career in another of her passions, comedy. One of the things she joked about was adoption. Something she was currently going through.
It's Ariel. I got 2 boys. I got an 8-year-old and an 11-year-old. And they always be hollering, Mama, we want a sister. We want a sister. I said, well, you know, if Mama can't buy that help at Target, you don't get her. I said, well, let's get a girl dog. So I said, okay, we can do that. So we go to the pound. We're looking at the dogs. You see one dog, she looked like she just had puppies, stomach all stretched out. A mess. They want this dog. So the vet said, well, don't worry, her stomach could go back down over time. If not, we can have surgery to make it flat again. You want me to have plastic surgery on my dog? So this dog can get a tummy tuck. Meanwhile, I'm still walking around looking like I just had puppies. I don't think so. That's not how that works. That's not. So the dog lasted for a little while. They kept going on about this sister. So I was like, we really want a sister. So now we're going through this adoption process. So we're trying to adopt a baby girl, and the social worker, you know, they have to come over and, you know, see that you're not too crazy to adopt. And so the whole way she's coming over, I'm telling my husband, I said, you know what? We should have locked the other 2 up in cages because if she meet them 2, ain't no way they gonna give us enough. She gets there, it's too late. They upstairs hollering, screaming. Where the moms at? Where moms at? Okay, yep, y'all don't like y'all kids either. So they upstairs hollering and screaming and going on. You know, you get to that mommy level and you like, you done had it. So I can get this woman that's in my face. So I turn around, yell upstairs, shut up, I come in there and punch you in your throat. Turn back around, and she's looking at me the same way y'all looking at me. home.
Ariel began the process to adopt 3 siblings, 2 boys and 1 girl, and invited them into her family's home. The youngest was Victoria Rose Smith, or Tori for short. From the outside, they all seemed like a very happy family. But behind closed doors, Jerry, Ariel's husband, claimed that Ariel would get very upset with Tori for small things, especially her eating habits. She felt like Tori didn't eat enough, especially vegetables. She would also allegedly lash out at Tori when she took too long in the bathroom. For punishment, Jerry said that Ariel would beat Tori with a belt or a wooden paddle, but he himself never took part in hitting the child. On Wednesday, January 13, 2021, the Robinsons attended church service like normal. Apparently, on the way to church, Tori got sick and threw up all over her church dress. Ariel was reportedly furious. When they got to church, 2 women, Jean Smith and Avery Santiago, said they seen her trying to clean the dress in the bathroom sink. When they questioned her, Ariel told them that Tori was not sick, she just liked to play a game where she eats too much to make herself throw up on purpose. The family then returned home and there were allegedly no other incidents that night. The following day, on January 14, 2021, Tori was allegedly inside the house alone with Ariel, while the older kids were at school and Jerry was outside doing yard work. At around 2:15 p.m., Jerry called the police to report that Tori was unresponsive. He said that he believed that she had drank too much water. They tried to resuscitate her with the Heimlich maneuver and then, they put her limp body in a bathtub with Epsom salt to revive her. The first responders noticed that Ariel had extensive bruises on her abdomen, legs, back, and ear. They said she was blue and cold to the touch, indicating a lack of circulation. She was transported to Greenville Memorial Hospital, but her heartbeat never returned. Victoria Rose Smith was pronounced deceased at the age of 3. When questioned, Ariel said the bruising must have come from her performing the Heimlich maneuver really hard. But the rest of the marks were blamed on Victoria's unnamed 7-year-old brother who she claimed hits Tori and has anger problems. She further claimed that throughout the day, Tori kept asking for water and saying that her stomach was hurting, but she didn't know why. On January 19, 2021, the coroner finished his report and ruled the child's death a homicide. He verified what the doctors and first responders had assumed: that Victoria died of cardiac arrest due to blunt force trauma. Dr. Michael Ward testified that the toddler was beaten so badly that her blood vessels burst, which caused her blood to pool in her muscles and fat, causing a cardiac arrest and her death. Coincidentally, that same day, Tori's adoption was to be finalized. Ariel's husband, Jerry, called police himself and changed his story. He said that day, Ariel was still upset that Tori vomited on herself on the way to church, ruining her clothes. That morning, Ariel flipped out on Tori because she wasn't eating her pancakes fast enough. He said he then went outside to do some yard work, but he heard his wife spanking Tori from outside. He came indoors to find Ariel standing over an unresponsive Tori with a belt in her hand. He also admitted that Victoria's brother had nothing to do with her injuries, saying all the older children were at school when the abuse happened. Both Ariel and Jerry were arrested and charged with Victoria's death. In a plea deal, Jerry was allowed to plead guilty to the lesser charge of aiding and abetting homicide by child abuse if he testified against his wife. He agreed.
Mr. Robinson, when you were outside the house that morning, what did you hear?
I heard Tori screaming and crying.
What was Tori screaming and crying about?
She basically just getting fussed at by her mother, getting a whooping for not eating her food.
And I'm sorry, you said a whooping?
Yes, ma'am.
So at some point, do you walk inside to see what's going on with this whooping that's happening to Tori?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you walked inside, what, if anything, did you see?
I saw the bruise.
You saw the bruising.
Yes, ma'am.
Who was in the house when you came inside and saw the bruising on Tori?
Ariel was.
Can you speak up?
Ariel was.
And can you tell the court what, if anything, was Ariel holding at that time?
It was a belt.
And what, if anything, was Tori doing at that time?
She was crying.
What was Tori wearing?
Nothing.
Nothing.
At her trial, Ariel's defense claimed that Jerry was lying. She took the stand in an effort to clear her name.
It made me feel really good. It made me feel a lot more girly because I'm Tori.
What kind of child was this?
I'm sorry. Tori was perfect. She was a perfect child. She didn't have a lot of behavior issues. Real easy to get along with.
Did you spoil your kids or favoritism?
Yeah, especially for Tori. It was easy because she was the baby girl. I was the baby in my family, so I always play favorites with the baby anyways. And it was just real easy because she was a girl, the only girl. So, yeah.
Ariel's trial lasted 4 days. In the end, it took about an hour and a half for the Greenville County jury to find Ariel Robinson guilty of homicide by child abuse.
As to the charge of homicide by child abuse, we, the jury, unanimously find the defendant guilty of homicide.
I think the medical testimony in this case was incredibly heartbreaking, and for folks who deal in the emergency room and who serve us in that way, and folks who deal with children in the most critical of situations, for them to say that this was substantially worse than anything they had seen, I think that has to put something into perspective for you. I can say that in my 13, 14 years of being a judge, I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything like this. Not even approaching it. And what compounds it is that I understand what your attorney is saying. Perhaps you snapped at that moment, but then why let this child suffer and not get her medical attention that she desperately needed as she lay dying in her own bedroom? Based upon all that, the sentence of the court cannot be anything but life in prison. Thank you.
On June 2, 2022, Jerry Robinson, who was out on bond, was sentenced to 20 years in prison for his part in Tori's murder. The DSS, or the Department of Social Services, claimed that they did conduct monthly checkups on Tori, and they reported no issues for concern. But they admit that due to COVID, their monthly checkups in the prior year were performed virtually. Tori's biological family has filed a petition in Tori's behalf to reform and improve the monitoring of the kids in the foster care system. The Food Network has removed all episodes of the entire 20th season from all its online platforms. Rest in peace to Tori Smith.